Hello and welcome to the Factor 50 podcast, the podcast where comedians spill the tea on all their holiday misadventures. Joining us this week, we have the fantastic Rahul Kohl. Hey, babes.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. A little bit ropey. I went a bit too wild for the Eurovision and Queen's Jubilee weekend.
Oh, are you a Eurovision fan?
I did watch it and I had a few drinks watching it. It's very fun. But I wouldn't say I'm like a regular. You know, some people get dressed up, have parties. I'm not quite that vibe. Don't get the bunting out just for Eurovision.
I literally put the bunting up for Eurovision. No, like I literally have bunting like in the corner of this room right now.
All the different flags and that.
You betcha. Except they don't actually sell like official Eurovision bunting, so I had to buy like a rugby Euros one. So it has like Wales.
Wait.
And I'm like, no.
That would be money, to be fair, if they like just released that. If they like branded themselves like FIFA and you had like a video game and stuff, you could do like karaoke Eurovision on the PlayStation.
Yes, they do have Eurovision merch. Like they have like you can buy like fridge magnets and shit. But like who fucking cares? Like we want the bunting. Like we want the party goods. Like for God's sake, they should. I bet you anything they'll make like Sam Ryder bunting. That would fly off the shelves. He's like the national hero now, isn't he?
Oh yeah, no, I'm thinking of like an RPG where you could be like Sam Ryder. You know, kipping on couches in his early days at the Weatherspoons for the £1 refillable coffee. And then you make different choices and then you get to the Eurovision in the finale.
The journey to fame. Oh my God. Incredible. Wait, so you did watch it then?
Yeah, I watched bits. I was on a train from Aberdeen to Edinburgh, so my stream was cutting in and out. But I watched it and had a few beers on the way down.
That sounds stunning. But yeah, I mean, the train Wi-Fi is not good enough. You need full attention.
No, it's almost like it's a prerequisite for all train Wi-Fi is that the Wi-Fi just doesn't work.
Yeah, shit. And then you try and do like your 4G and that doesn't fucking work because you're in like the middle of nowhere.
That works for a bit and then it starts cutting out and it's just back and forth. Then you try and connect on the Wi-Fi, then you go back to the 4G just over and over.
Like Satan's toggle is what I'll call it. Like,
Satan's toggle.
You heard it here first.
And the Wi-Fi blocks you from going on adult sites, which I don't appreciate.
That is so rude. Although, I mean, come on.
For the record, I don't watch porn on trains.
I was going to say, are you watching porn on the Avanti West Coast?
No, like, if I go like a news article that's like 18 plus, or I watch like a football stream, they're like, oh no, you're not allowed.
What news articles are 18 plus, mate? I'm sorry, I'm not having this.
Yeah, I've absolutely just put myself on there.
I'm not even going to edit that out.
Yeah, please do. I'm like that Tory MP, but on trains, it's even worse.
Yeah, that is, yeah. No, at least you're not at work. I mean, you're kind of on your commute to work.
Yeah, you have to bear in mind as a road comic, I spend most of my waking day on trains. So, like, I got to find time somewhere.
Oh, God. Amazing. Right, well, shall we get into it? Shall we get into the theme of the podcast?
Let's go.
Let's do it. So, let's start with the best holiday. What was the best holiday ever for you?
The best holiday, it's probably a toss-up. Between two.
Okay, we've
probably
got
the
options.
first time I went traveling just after school when I was 18, and me and my mate, instead of deciding to go on like a lad's holiday for a week with a big group to like Magaluf, or Ibiza or something, we worked out we could probably spend the same amount doing 4 weeks interrailing around Europe.
Smart choice. Intellectual choice as well, I'd say.
Well, yeah, what, you know, like, you try and pass it off as intellectual, but it's just the same as a lad's holiday, except for it lasts 4 weeks. You get pissed every night, but in the day you go, ooh, look at that church. Isn't that nice? Built in the 1400s. Ooh, 1,000 Catholics were slaughtered outside of here. Ooh, wild. And then you go get pissed again. Like, that's it, you know what I mean? Instead of sitting on the beach here and there, you're pretending to take in history, but it is pretending.
Oh, 100%. The guys of the lad holiday. Oh, my God.
That.
So what, it was just two of you, though, as well? It was just two of you?
Yeah, just two of us.
That's more civilized as well.
Best friend.
Oh.
No, it wasn't civilized in any way, shape, or form. Pretty wild, to be fair. The first time I went Interrail, I nearly got stabbed in Switzerland, of all places.
What?
Switzerland.
Wow.
Like, I've been to Serbia, I've been to Poland, the Czech Republic, Croatia, not an ounce of trouble. And then I went to Switzerland and nearly got stabbed. Who gets stabbed in the neutral country? We're getting to Switzerland and we're getting to town and we're interrailing, so we ain't got much money. We're just like fresh out of school. And so instead of like obviously going to the bar and club, especially in like Geneva, and getting like on it because it's like 10 euros for a simple vodka and Coke, we go to the shops to get like a bottle of vodka. But we go to the shop at like 9:15 or something. And the shopkeeper tells us that apparently there's a law in Switzerland that means you can't buy alcohol after 9 p.m. Anyway, yeah, like so we were in there and we can't buy the booze. And we start trying to like butter up the shopkeeper, and he tells us he's from like Kashmir, Pakistan. So I start pretending I'm from Kashmir, Pakistan to get on with him and start kicking off about India, which my mother and my grandparents, oh my God, they would have been furious. They would have been furious if they found out that I was stood there pretending to be Pakistani.
After all you went through, after all they went through, like refugees and all that. But you know, needs must. I need to get a bottle of vodka in Switzerland, and it was 9:15. You gotta do it. You gotta hustle.
Exactly. So like we're putting him up, and he gave us the bottle of vodka. He sold it to us like under the counter. My friends have never ever let me live this down, unfortunately. And they're white as well, but they still just rip me. But we got the bottle of vodka, and then we were just sat out like on the street drinking it. There was like no police around because Switzerland, there's just no crime. And like this kid comes up to us with like his older brother. They look like, I don't know, Moroccan, Algerian or something like that. And like one of them says something to the older guy said something to us in French. We didn't really understand, but the younger kid's like, oh, he's asking if he can have a swiggy of vodka. And we're like, well, like, you know, traveling, everyone's been lovely to us so far. It's Switzerland. These guys look a bit shady, but what could go wrong? We're like, yeah, mate, help yourself. And like we give him the bottle of vodka, and he just stares off in the distance, doesn't even like look at us, just stares away from us and just starts swigging it. And just doesn't stop swigging it. Like just won't give it back. And we're just sat there like any minute now. It'll pass it back. He seems like a nice guy. This is fine. And just keep swigging it. Eventually I get fed up and I like grab the bottle of vodka out of his hands. And he like squares up to me and he's like, no, speak English. And I think I'm solid as hell. I square back up to him and I'm like, no parle français, thinking I'm solid. And then my mate just taps on the shoulder. He's like, right, look at his pocket. And he's just whipped out a knife over like a 75 cl bottle of water, bottle of vodka. And I'm just like, okay, yep, I don't speak French, but I speak that. I'm off, mate. And we just absolutely pegged it. He started running after us, but luckily we got away. And yeah, we got stabbed in Switzerland. I got so pissed that night. I climbing into my hostel bed. Didn't make the bed.
Wait, what?
Like, I just got halfway up. Got halfway up the ladder and then just called it a day there. But said it came in. No, it's just hanging off the ladder.
See
and like
a
really bad cough. Yeah, I had a really bad cough the next morning. I was coughing like mad, keeping like everybody up my hostel dorm up. And they were like, oh yeah, maybe you should just like go downstairs, get some fresh air, get some water down here, because they were just clearly getting annoyed by how much I was coughing. But I was like, that Ahmed, I went downstairs, got like a glass of water, like a bottle of water from the vending machine. And you know, like they have like sofas in like a hotel lobby.
Yeah.
And you know, like it has like, you know, you got the back here, then it goes down like that, and then it comes to the edge, and like you can sort of, I'm sat there with like my legs off the edge, like on the side like that. There's a group of like Chinese tourists behind me, and apparently like I just finished my water, and then just fell asleep again on top of the Chinese tourists.
On top of them?
They were too polite and didn't want to wake me up. And my mate came down like 10 minutes later and just saw them try to like sort of navigate this Asian man asleep on top of them, which like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. It just like dragged me up. I was like, sorry about him. At
what point did you wake up and realize you were just on someone?
I was just like, you know, when you're just that mashed and the only thing keeping you up is because you're ill, like you need the toilet or you've just got a cough that is keeping you up. It was one of them. And then I was just that underslept that when I went downstairs, I had the water and hydrated myself. I was just back out again and wasn't even conscious of it just seemed like a nice pillow. It's like my head, that person's knee was like a nice place to rest my head.
Wait, so your head was on his knee? That's so intimate.
Like my back and head was like over the knees, over like two people.
So you were like fully spread.
Yeah, just fully like,
pay me like one of your French girls.
And they were just like, oh no, what do we do here? How do we deal with this human being?
That's so funny. I feel like anyone else would be like, get the fuck off me, but they were just like, oh, maybe we'll let him sleep. That's so cute. Oh, bless.
Detroit was probably my favorite place I visited in America.
Really?
Planet. Everyone said, oh, you know, like I basically planned my America tour of where my favorite rappers were from.
Of course.
And that is apparently not how you should plan an American trip whatsoever. I ended up in some absolutely lunatic places. In Detroit, every American I tell when I was on the way to Detroit, I was stopping off Detroit, like, why are you going to Detroit? It's like, you're going to die. It's a war
it's
zone.
I thought it was
get
quite rough. No,
wild.
yeah.
But I got the Greyhound from there to Chicago, and I got on quite early in the morning. I sat next to this young, like, African-American guy. And he was really nice. He was really friendly. He was like, you noticed I had a Samsung, and he asked me if I had like a spare charger because his phone was out of battery and he was waiting on a call. And I was like, yeah, no problem, here you go. And then he started like asking me about what I was doing there and kind of like, I've got a fancy accent, man. What brings you to Detroit? And I was just like, I explained it. I was just backpacking, traveling. He's like, oh, man, that's really cool. Anyway, I'm getting this phone call, man. But we'll talk later. We'd really got on. Like we talked about a lot, and we really got on like a house on fire. But he answers his call he's waiting on. He just comes out with this, and again, it's just one of those culture shots. We just like, what the? Like, he just answered the phone, and like all I heard was this. He's like, yeah, nah, bro. So what happened was this, yo, I fucked her, right? Sorry, come on. I ain't saying nothing. I ain't run my mouth. She told the whole hood. Now her brother thinks I made her look like a slut. Now you know me, dog. I'm gonna looking for fights. I'm gonna pick him for fights. But see if this man don't want to pick a fight with me, I will shoot him square in his motherfucking face. He puts the phone down. And then he just looks at me, looking a bit awkward. He sort of looks over and just goes, don't worry about it, dog. It's personal problems. I'm sure you got some. I was like, oh, yeah. Shooting motherfuckers in the face all the time, I am.
Happens all the time in Newcastle. Yeah.
Every day, gun violence, big
I love that
in the northeast of England.
I love that call was scheduled.
I was waiting on that call. It was like a business meeting for him about who he was going to shoot. I was just like, yeah, every day, you got to get your admin out of the way. Got to send those emails threatening to kill people. Was it
in like the Google Calendar?
It's my first time using Airbnb. In like 2015, it was quite new. They don't have like the levels of scrutiny for people who are renting out rooms that they do now. And so like I was going to go to Miami. It probably was a mistake in hindsight. I decided to go to Atlanta because Vice had released like a documentary on like hip hop from Atlanta. And I was like, ooh, that looks cool. Let's go there. I get to the bus station the next morning, get an Uber to the gaff. And I get the Uber, and the Uber driver's like, yo, man, why are you going to this area? You got a fancy accent, man. You from Britain, you on holidays? I'm like, yeah. He's like, why are you going to this area, man? This area is pretty shady, man. Like, this is a pretty area. You shouldn't really be
your life.
going there if you're backpacking. I'm like, yeah, it's just where my accommodation is. I explained the concept of Airbnb to him. And I was like, I'm hoping it'll be all right. I've got a coat to get on. And as we pull up the street, like, I realized what he means. Because as soon as we go down the street, it looks like the red light district. Like, it's all these sort of, those American houses with the porches on the front.
Yeah.
All like loads of them in a row, but on every porch is like a woman in like a kimono and like a bra and pants. And like clearly it's like where everyone goes, but like, it's like the unofficial red light district or something. The only house that doesn't have a lady in a kimono on is the house I'm going into. For some reason, and this just gave it a bit more fear. Just a bit more of an element.
What's wrong with this house?
Yeah, it's got two cats just patrolling the porch. And I like cats. But in this particular environment, I was like, what kind of mythological story am I in here? What's going to go on when I open the door? So I open the door, I put the code in. The cats are actually really friendly, but I open the code, walk through the corridor. Everything seems normal at first. Go into like living room / kitchen. And there's like two people on a breakfast bar, like a mid-30s guy who's French and like an old American guy. And they just sat like on these high chairs on this breakfast bar eating cereal. And they are both butt naked. Not an item of clothing on them except the French guy had glasses on.
Oh my God.
And I was skitzed out. I did not know what was going on. I thought it was like, I didn't even click that it might have been like a nudist accommodation. Like that would surely be in the description.
Well, surely.
So I thought it was like these two guys, I don't know, just had some weird gay breakfast fetish or something like that. I give them a British response ever. I was like, all right, guys, it is you guys just finish up whatever it is you're doing in here.
You're like, sorry to interrupt.
I'm gonna go in my bedroom. When you guys get your clothes back on and finish your stuff, like just come grab me and I come out and say hello. Go at my bedroom, like, what on earth is going on here? Where am I? About 5 minutes later, like, knock on my door, and the French guy comes through, And he's like, excuse me, he's wearing nothing again, but his glasses. He's like, excuse me, I think you have the wrong idea. This is nothing sexual. This is a nudist hostel. Are you not aware? And I was like, no, I'm not aware. And I haven't looked through all my emails. On the first hostel that I've been booked in, it says nothing about being a nudist hostel there. But the one he's moved me to does state in the description that it's a nudist hostel because he said it's so last minute. I don't know what his game was.
Yeah, there's no time for you to check. Oh
yeah,
my
I just
God.
basically signed up for without reading properly that it was a nudist hostel. And you know, I thought, I'm a liberal, innit? You know, if you're going to call yourself a liberal, you got to at least try different lifestyles. You gotta give it a go. So I tried, I just tried for about an hour or so, just chill naked. But like,
so you just got your dick out as well?
Oh, dick out and everything. It wasn't for me. Like, I'm making my breakfast. I'm frying an egg, and the oil is splattering off. And I'm like, oh no. And then I was just like, honestly, an egg sandwich is very much ruined when you're just staring at scrotum, like when it's just in your face. Right there, like scrotum is the last thing you need to see.
Old scrotum.
Wrinkly balls when you're eating breakfast. God. After about an hour, I just found somebody on couch surfing and left. And then funny little tidbit that didn't too directly related to the story, but did happen. And I was getting out, I was waiting for my taxi on the front of the porch. Like, let's get the fuck out of this crazy area. What on earth is happening? Uber driver pulls up looking like a bit shifty. Like not shifty, but just a bit like concerned. He's like looking around. And then he sees me and I'm like, I take my my bag off, like I run to his car and like I fell over with the bag on. Like get up, put my bag in the back of his boot, and then I get in the front seat of the car. And when I'm in the front seat of the car, he just looks to me, and he's a big, jovial African American man, looks like Killer Mike, and he just literally looks at me with the biggest smile on his face. He looks as relieved as I've ever seen anyone. He was, oh man, when I told I had to get a Uber to this area, I thought, oh no, Jermaine, you're gonna get jacked, you're gonna get robbed, they're gonna take your car. Then I saw your stupid ass phone over with your stupid bag, and I was like, hallelujah, Jermaine, you ain't getting robbed. Drove me off with that. What the fuck is this?
I'm glad that I can reassure you with my clumsiness.
My first holiday, if you can call it a holiday, because I don't think you really understand, but like if you're misbehaving at school, if you come from an ethnic family, your parents will just take you out of school and send you to your country of origin to make you know how lucky you are.
Oh my God.
Have you heard of this?
Wow. So what happened?
So I was just, taking the mick, not really paying attention in school. And so my parents took me out of school in Newcastle and sent me India for 3 weeks in the middle of the school year. Which I think probably wasn't the best for my academic grades, but it did really make me realise what
How did that get signed off? How did that get approved by the school? Teaching a lesson.
Back then it was loose with health and safety and political correctness and all that. Do you know what I mean? Back then you could film your nativity place. Now you go take your little niece or nephew, you're not allowed to film, and then you've got to agree to a professional photographer or filmer filming it to make sure nobody's a nonce. Like that didn't happen back in my day. Just everyone bring your cameras out. Yeah. Random guy who doesn't have any kids here, you can film the kids as well. Yeah, you come here every year, don't you? So I went to India, and it was a bit of a wake up call. I had fun living with my uncle actually, but we didn't have a bath or a shower. We had a hose and a bucket.
Wow.
And the worst one was you've been to France. Have you ever come across any of the traditional French toilets?
Oh yes, I've been in many a traditional the hole in the ground.
The hole in the ground. Well, they're also traditional Indian toilets. How did you? Do you know that's actually how you're meant to take a poo?
It is. That is how you're supposed to do it, isn't it? But
I see an article in the papers, and it was we've been shitting wrong our entire lives.
We have. Doesn't mean I'm going to do it, but
it's better for you the back of your legs and your cardio to squat with the hole in the ground. How did you navigate? What age were you when you first came across a hole in the ground?
I was quite young, I think, because I've been going to France since I was a kid. I think I was probably 6 or 7, and I was like
6 or 7, so same age as me. So how did you react? What did you think?
I was like. Do you know what? I need a wee, so I'm going for it. Just did a squat. It's different when you're a girl. It's different when you're a girl, but yeah.
Yes. Well, so for me, I went in and I seen it, and I was in two minds, and I was thinking, be a brave boy, you can do it. But then, obviously, because it's Indian, it's in the mountains of India. I saw what at the time at 6 years old appeared to me to be like a dragon in that toilet. It was probably just a gecko, but I saw a full dragon like, you know, Daenerys Targaryen sitting on the back of it in the middle of this toilet. That's what it appeared like to me. I absolutely, well, I didn't shit myself, but I was
That's what
very
you wanted to
scared.
do, yeah.
Yeah.
If only.
Didn't use the toilet and forced my poor uncle every morning to take me to the KFC on the high street, which had a west and use the toilet there.
A bargain bucket and a shite.
Oh, exactly that. Not proud of it
Amazing.
looking back, but I saw a
you
dragon.
gotta do what you gotta do, look. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Exactly that.
That's amazing. So did you learn your lesson? Were you like, fuck this?
Yeah, I was like, I'm definitely going to pay a bit more attention in school just so I can have access to a toilet with running water. And I don't want to have to go through dragons in the toilet ever again. I never want to have to beg my uncle to take me to... That's even like, by now, I've done a lot of degrading things in my life by 30 years old, but I still think that's one of the most degrading things I've ever had to do, beg my uncle to take me to KFC so I could have a shit.
So what would be your kind of ideal or like dream holiday? Like if you could go anywhere with anyone, where are you going? Who are you taking?
Do you know what? I feel like I've never quite done the lads' holiday properly. I love going to Blackpool for like the weekend. I
Nice.
absolutely love the cheapness, the tackiness. Like I went one time and they're still selling £3 pints of Carling at a theme park. They sell 20 Lambert and Butler at the theme park. Just like some parent whipping away cigs in front of a child as they're queued up for the roller coaster. Still sell cockles and oysters.
Incredible.
I love that kind of vibe. And I feel like as much fun as I did have interrailing, I never quite like had one of those long weeks away with the boys where you just get pissed and are a mess.
Yeah,
and I'd love to do like a Benidorm. When we were interrailing, we did one night in Zante.
I did Zante. I've done Benidorm. Both amazing. I did. So Jack Ledo was on the podcast previously, and he was talking about going to Benidorm. We had a whole chat about Benidorm, and it is fucking If you love Blackpool, this is like Blackpool with like Stun, like
Stun. Yeah, that sounds like I would love a week there.
You need to get on it.
I think that's gonna be my stag, like a weekend in Benidorm or something like that.
So I do have a couple of bonus questions as well to like wrap it up.
Go ahead.
So first one, would you cruise? Like as a holiday? Like go on a cruise? Not
because like asking a man if he cruise is a very leading question. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, we've had that confusion a couple of times already.
That's like gay dogging, isn't it? That's like, would I pull up behind a park and try and solicit other men walking by for sex?
No. Would you go on a cruise?
That is no, because as much as I enjoyed my time in Berlin, I'm afraid to say I'm not homosexual nor bi, so I wouldn't cruise in that regard. However, would I go on a cruise? Yes and no. Like it would be my first idea for. I used to do loads, but like only 2-day ones because like they were the cheap holidays from Newcastle to Amsterdam. You get the ship.
Yeah, the Newcastle to Amsterdam booze cruise is like iconic.
Yeah, there's like when you were a kid, there was like a swimming pool, a cinema. And even as an adult, it was like a casino, like a dance floor. There's loads of stuff going on.
It's got everything you need in one place. Like it's great.
Exactly that. I mean, I'd love to perform on a cruise, but I think like if I was going to do a cruise, I'd rather get paid because you're talking to other comedians. It just sounds like a very lonely experience.
Yeah,
it's just
definitely.
you and a lot of people who are on the verge of death, going around like the Caribbean, you know, eating ice cream and nice food. But like, I think it's Jason Cook tells a wonderful story about how like they have ice cream days on cruises, and what an ice cream day actually is because the average age of people on cruises is so old. It's just pensioners who've retired who are looking for something to do that isn't much exertion. So many of them die that the moratorium gets too full and they have to start putting people in the freezer to preserve their bodies because obviously going to be holding them for 3 months before they get back to the UK and they can return to their families. And so to make room in the freezer, they call ice cream day where everybody gets free ice cream.
Oh my god, there's something so jolly but covering up something so fucking dark.
So dark.
That is so dark. Wow. Okay, actually that is enough to put someone off cruising. Jesus. Okay.
Yeah, I'm cruising when I'm a little bit older, but I think nowadays, unless I was booked to perform, I'm not sure.
Nowadays it's like I'll do it if I'm paid. Fair enough. Cool. Second bonus question. What is your favourite motorway services?
Ooh, that's a big question, isn't it?
It is. For a comedian, that is a big question.
It's something that like grinds my gears. I get very northern about it. I feel like there's a north-south divide with the service stations, you know what I mean? You go to service stations down south, like I was furious when we pulled up at that one on the way to Swansea when we were doing that gig. Because they had a Leon, a McDonald's.
That was bougie.
24 hours. That's bougie good
Where
food.
was that? Oh my god.
The ones up north, have got just, like a Greg's and a W and
Yeah.
Smith. And
The
that
ones
is
up
it.
north.
And they shut at like 9 p.m. But there is one in the north, which I absolutely love. It's in Scotland on the west coast somewhere. And there's just loads of either geese or swans that hang around the car park. And you can get right up close to them and just sort of like pretend you're in a family of geese. And I really enjoy that. I have done that a few times.
I do love a bit of wildlife with my motorway
Yeah.
services, it has to be said.
I
Just
forget
pretend
what
you're
it's
with the
called, but it's
geese.
in between like Glasgow and Carlisle somewhere.
Are you thinking of T-Bay, the one with the farm shop?
Is that the one with the geese?
The bougie one. The geese. I thought that's your main
You've got geese in
takeaway.
the car park.
The duck pond.
That's how I recognise it. If I pull in the car park and there are just geese
Hang on,
living
how
there.
is that your main takeaway? T-Bay has come up before on this podcast because it is, but like mostly because of how like bougie it is. Like there's a farm shop. No, not really. There's like
Does
wooden
it have a family of
beams.
geese? It doesn't have a family of geese. It's not my favourite service station, Tegan. That's how much I know.
Geese or bust.